Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are fine and are safe. So I had purchased this Echeveria Blue Atoll probably on the 15th or 14th of October, and on 16th of October I had made a video on how the succulent tends to look like when it comes in post stage. A lot of times they have a lot of stretch on them. It's not that it's always necessary that you're going to have colored and compact succulents. So this is how it looked on the 16th of October. I had made a video on it, and this is how the succulent looks right now. Now today is the 6th of November. Now it is still in the process of recovery. It's not completely recovered, but you can definitely see a lot of difference. So I'll put the video clip that was shot on 16th of October, and this on the right hand side is the one that is the present day. You can definitely see a lot of difference. Now this succulent has been kept in indirect bright light. The direct sunlight is not exposed, but there was a little bit of damage. Probably this was from the earlier, because when I was comparing the images, I could see that there was some scar initially itself, but that's absolutely okay. So you can see it has progressed a lot. It's doing quite well, but again, as I said, it's going to take a little bit more time for it to completely look more beautiful than this, because it's an absolutely beautiful succulent called as Blue Atoll. Now you'll also notice that the lower leaves are starting to turn yellow over here. Let me show it to you. So you can see these are turning yellow. Now again, this is a very normal process. A lot of people tend to get worried and they get quite panicked about it, thinking that they might have overwatered their succulent, or probably the succulent is dying. Please don't be worried. Whenever you see that the lower leaves, 1, 2 or maybe 3 or 4 as well, depending upon the size of the succulent, if you tend to see that the lower leaves are turning yellow, it's absolutely normal. This is the process of the succulent getting adjusted and getting acclimated in your environment, because this succulent had come from a very different environment. It was much more cold. Over here it is a very different environment, so it is trying to adjust. At the same time, it is putting out new growth as well. This is all the new growth that is being shown, and they are starting to open up, and very soon it will start to cover up the entire succulent as and when the succulent starts to grow. So the lower yellow leaves, I'm going to leave them as it is. As and when time passes, they will get dried automatically and they will get detached from the mother plant. It's absolutely normal. In fact, the succulent is taking a lot of the nutrients from those yellow leaves, so you do not want to pull them out. Let them be as it is. It's not going to cause any harm. The succulent will eventually pull out all the nutrients from those older leaves, and it will eventually dry out. But you can see overall the succulent is doing quite well. I'm quite happy about it. I had couple of Blue Atoll long back, but when shifting I lost all the Blue Atolls, but now I have one, so I'm giving the best care possible to it. Now when I compare the video with 16th of October, of course I can see a lot of difference. The succulent is more compact. I don't see a lot of stretching because it's kept in indirect bright light. Now this succulent is something that I won't be exposing it to morning direct sunlight, because they do not change the color. They usually tend to stay green in color. In fact, it is going to turn even more green in color. So I'm going to be keeping it only in indirect bright light, or I can even keep it under a shade cloth or a filtered sunlight. It's absolutely okay, but I wouldn't expose it to a morning direct sunlight because it's not going to do much to it. It's better to be kept in indirect bright light. Remember, I've spoken about this earlier as well. Any succulents that do not change the color will do quite well in indirect bright light as well. So the only reason why we tend to expose a lot of succulents to direct morning sunlight is because of the colors, because they change the colors according to the amount of direct sunlight they tend to receive. But if there are succulents that do not change the color, there is no point of putting it out in morning direct sunlight. Any which ways, even if I put it out in morning direct sunlight, it won't be any harm, but I cannot expose it to longer hours of morning direct sunlight. Probably I can give it 2 hours of morning direct sunlight. That's all about it. But the best thing what I can do is just keep it in indirect bright light, so that I can have some more space for my other succulents that are more brightly colored. So I tend to segregate my succulents accordingly. If I have succulents that do not change the color, I do not put them out in direct sunlight. I let them be in indirect bright light. They tend to look very compact. They have that color and they do not stretch. That is the most important thing for our green colored succulents. So guys, I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe and keep planting.